You are sitting on your couch, watching your favorite TV show. Then boom, the screens go black, the lights die. You grab your phone, it won't turn on. Your smartwatch is dead. Your Wi-Fi disappears. You look outside expecting to see local power outage. Instead, the entire city is covered in darkness, except for one thing, the sky. Brilliant waves of green, purple, and crimson stretch from horizon to horizon. Beautiful, but terrifyingly new to you. You panic. At first, nobody understands what's happening. Within minutes, satellites begin to fail. GPS signals become confused. Radio communications fade away. Power grids struggle under enormous electrical currents. Around the world, engineers race against time to prevent complete collapse. This sounds like a plot of a disaster, but it is a real-life threat, and our sun has already done something like this before, and any time from now, it will do it again. Scientists call it the Carrington Event. What causes it? When will it happen again? And if it did, would the modern civilization survive? Would you survive? To answer all those questions, we have to travel back more than 160 years ago. On the morning of September 1st, 1859, a British astronomer, Richard Carrington, was doing what he had already done countless times before. He was carefully observing the dark patches moving across the surface of the sun. These strange markings, known as sunspots, were already known to scientists. But what happened next had never been recorded in history. Without a warning, a blindfolding flash erupted from the surface of the sun. It was so bright that Carrington immediately realized he was witnessing something extraordinary. The flash lasted only a few minutes, then it disappeared. Carrington didn't know that billions of tons of electrically charged plasma had been ejected into space by our sun, and the Earth was about to suffer the consequences. Only hours later, our planet was struck. The effects were unlike anything humanity had ever experienced. Out in the Rocky Mountains, gold miners woke up in the middle of the night, believing that the sun had already risen. The sky glowed with brilliant curtains of red and green light. Across North America and Europe, people witnessed auroras thousands of kilometers farther from the poles than anyone thought possible. Telegraph operators watched their equipment starting transmitting messages on their own. No batteries, no power lines, running purely on the current induced by the storm on the wires. Some operators were shocked just by touching their machines. Messages kept moving down the line, even after the workers physically disconnected the power. For the first time in recorded history, humanity witnessed the incredible power of space weather. The event would later be known as the Carrington Event. And what is truly scary about this, that it wasn't a one-time thing. It keeps happening. In 1989, power grids in Quebec were destroyed and over 6 million people were plunged into darkness. Patients lost lives. People were trapped in installed elevators. Underground survey tunnels and airports stopped working, costing up to $2 billion in damages. And just recently, in May 2024, a storm scientists now call the Gannon storm, the strongest in over 20 years, sent auroras spilling across all over the planet. People photographed the northern lights from across all continents. Millions of people who had never seen auroras in their lives stepped outside and watched the sky turn red, some without even knowing why. I bet you too didn't know, and if you knew, I recommend you putting it in the comments. It was beautiful, but it was also a warning shot. Now, you might be asking, if it was so strong, why didn't it destroy our phones and TVs? Let me clarify. All these recent storms were significantly weaker compared to the Carrington event. We actually had a Carrington-level storm recently in 2012. That one would have crippled everything in the planet, but we were incredibly lucky that it missed us by just 90 days. So why are scientists so worried? What happens when the sun does it again? To answer this, we have to understand what causes these explosions in the first place. You see, our sun isn't just a peaceful ball of fire floating in space. It's an enormous nuclear reactor. Every second, it converts nearly 600 million tons of hydrogen into helium. That reaction releases an unimaginable amount of energy. Most of that reaches us as light and heat. Without it, life on Earth wouldn't exist. But sometimes, the sun becomes unstable. Powerful magnetic fields twisting across its surface like a giant rubber bands, and as they become more tangled, the pressure builds. Eventually, those magnetic fields snap. When they do, the sun releases enormous explosions known as a solar flare. Sometimes, that explosion launches billions of tons of superheated, electrically charged plasma into the space. Scientists call these explosions coronal mass ejections. Most of them never come anywhere near Earth. They shoot harmlessly in the deep space. Others are too weak to cause the serious damage. But every once in a while, Earth is directly in a firing line. Scientists have discovered that the sun follows a surprisingly predictable rhythm. Roughly every 11 years, its magnetic fields flip. North becomes south and south becomes north. During these periods, the number of sunspots rapidly increase. Solar flares become more frequent. Coronal mass ejections erupt one after another. Astronomers call this period solar maximum. In 2024, the sun reached its maximum peak. The warnings became reality. The sun unleashed a series of extremely powerful eruptions, multiple X-class solar flares, the strongest category ever recorded, bursting from its surface one after another. Massive clouds of plasma raced toward us. For the first time in more than 2 decades, NOAA issued the G5 extreme geomagnetic storm warnings, the highest level of its scale. Around the world, people were outside enjoying the lights, but scientists were watching something far more serious. Because the true Carrington-level event will happen again, anytime from now. And when it happens, if you are not prepared, we might be sent back to the Stone Age. Because almost every electronic will be destroyed. Active phones dead, TVs dead. You will see entire cities struggling in permanent darkness. Satellites will fail, planes could crash down, radio communications will be completely severed. So, how prepared are we? You see, scientists are keeping an eye on the sun day and night. But when we see this plasma being ejected, we only have about 24 hours to prepare. The world leaders would alert people to turn off their electricity worldwide. All gadgets of hospitals might suffer, but we have no choice. Otherwise, we might suffer over $2 trillion worth of damages, because the next great solar storm doesn't announce itself. It simply arrives, and if it does, it might be one of the devastating moments modern civilization will ever witness. I want to say this: thank you for watching, and may your God keep you till we meet in the next video that is coming soon. If you like in-depth documentaries like this, I recommend you considering subscribing